girls are also doing really great, even better than boys sometime, in a different field. So right now things are changing, and it will be changed. And but I mean, after school, I mean, most of the parents, they want their daughter to get married. Even in my case, when I finished my college, they were like, you should get married. But yeah, it was. I mean, then I started photography, and I never think of that. But it's not from only your parents or your family. It's from your whole locality. Or it's really difficult if you are 20 and you are not getting married. So people are really concerned about that. I don't know why.
Yeah, but I don't know why either. Sometimes people get concerned about things that are not all that important in terms of the relationships of people's fame and even not even just the way they live life. I mean, if I have a regret, but then I'm not going to sit there and fret over it. It's the fact that I am almost I'll be 58 in July and don't have any kids and or wife. But like I said, that could change. I could have that next year for all I know, or next week. But right now, that's what I don't have, and I don't have any kids. But I mean, I have my two nephews, and I love my nephews dearly, and I have a very close family. I'm very close to my mom and my dad and aunts and uncles and the cousins and tons of other family members. So, and definitely I count some of my friends as being almost like pseudo cousins and pseudo brothers and things of that nature. As a matter of fact, I just had one that recently reached out to me because he's like a play brother. So he's been a brother to both me and my brother in terms of like not being a birth brother, but we treat him like a brother and have a great deal of respect. And he's actually getting married for the first time, I think later this year. I want to say like around August or September at the age of 50. So there is hope out there if that's what you want at any age. But like I said, I'm perfectly content living the apartment life right now. And what life brings, only the powers above may know that. And that's if you believe in the powers above. But I definitely think that there's probably some controlling elements to our life. So only they will know what that might be. So definitely that. I was just curious. Like I said, I mentioned my dad is an artist, so I'll let you see a little bit of his artwork. I've shown some of yours, but this is some of my dad's work. Jim Lee is his name, and it's bambooturtle.com. So you can see that he does like a lot of abstract kind of artwork, but things of that nature. So that's just kind of his work. He's got some stuff that deals with insects. Those are actually insects, dead insects, of course, that are in those glasses that you saw. And definitely does some very abstract art. So if you want to comment on Dad's artwork, I won't mind. I'm sure he won't mind either.
And about the stereotype mindset, I think it's not good to fix a mindset about culture, because many of Indian people, they think America is this. No, we have different people, and it's not really good if you fix the mindset that India only is about Bollywood song or rich food. It's not all about that. India has so many different things, and you should learn about different culture. And it's not only, I mean, every culture has bad and good things. So try to accept those good things. And you don't have to look at the bad things. I mean, but if you can try to solve those problems. Every culture has problem, even in states. I talk to my friends, and they have problems with political problems and all. I think we all have problems. I think it's just different in color.
Yeah, that's very true. We all have problems of one sort or another. It might be different problems, but we all have them and everything. For folks that want to reach out to you and learn more about your photographs, of course, they can go to RanitaRoy.com, which is where I've been showing some of these photographs from. But if you would share with folks how they can reach out to you, and are there any special projects? You've mentioned a couple of these projects that are ongoing, but are there any other new special projects that you're working on that you'd be interested in letting our listeners know about so that they can find out what you've got going on and some of the things that you're hoping to do in the near future. And also, what is your feeling about when the industry will start? Because I know, like you said, you've not been able to get a lot of your assignments. Hollywood here in this area is definitely on lockdown, and not a lot of film projects are being shot. I've heard from different people in your area that Bollywood is in the same kind of position and everything. They did just recently release a Netflix film called Never Have I Ever, which is Indian based and everything on Netflix. But I was just wondering what some of your thoughts were in terms of when you're thinking the industry will come back, and also what will the impact be of COVID on the industry? Do you think that it'll come back the same way it was, or do you think that there'll be some adaptations done? Because I mean, photography is very much of a hands-on kind of thing. Yes, you can take pictures from afar, and you can still maintain that 6 foot distance that they're asking folks to do. But definitely, the movie theaters is kind of. I've heard that they're going to have 6 foot of separation between the seats, so that may mean every third seat is occupied when we first come back. But I imagine there'll be changes in the photograph industry too. So I just wondering what some of your speculations are and what some of your thoughts are about post lockdown. What will the world look like post lockdown, and what kind of impact will it have on your industry?
So I can't predict the future, first of all, but nothing will be the same again. Is the truth, and hope people will understand the new things, and they will maintain the distance, and they will wear mask even in India. Mean, we are living in a red zone. People are not maintaining the distance. People are not covering their mouths. So it's difficult to predict the future. But about the industry, I think photography industry is evolving, and right now you can see lots of workshop and talks where they are doing, on basis online basis. So you can learn things from online right now, and but I don't know what will happen after the lockdown, how we will work. But if you study the history of mankind, you can see that there were lots of pandemic like malaria and those kind of stuff. But uh, we don't even think of the malaria because we have the medicine. So I think in this case we will adopt this situation, and will evolve, and uh, hopefully people will understand, and they will not uh, you know destroy our own nature. That's my thinking, actually. In this quarantine life, I think I'm thinking too much about nature, how we exploit the nature, and because of that, now we are facing the problem. So it's really hard, but I think it's uh, whatever we are going through right now is because of us. So
Yeah,
we need to understand that, and stop doing those things if you really want to if you really want a healthy life.
yeah, definitely. What are some of the things that you would like to learn photograph wise? And what are some of the places that you would like to, you mentioned a couple of them, but what are some of the other places that you would like to travel worldwide? Because, some of our listeners, maybe some in North Carolina, maybe some in New Jersey, maybe some in other places, may hear this and be like, hey, I can help Renita get that goal accomplished. Or I can help her get that equipment or this or that. But if you had a wish list of places that you could go, or a wish list of equipment that you would like that you're missing right now, what is on that wish list? Because, like I said, no guarantees, but there's no telling about the folks that are listening, and somebody may hear it and be like, "Look, I've got a leftover whatever that equipment is that I can ship to Renita and get it to her." So, if you had a wish list of things that you would like, what would that be?
um, I think I'm really facing a difficult problem because of my big camera. It's a really DSLR, in a situation which is really quiet and less people. They can really they can point out my camera, and they so it would be great if I can have some really small and good quality camera like Leica, but I don't have that. It's not wish list, it's just yeah, it would be great if I have someday. And travel wise, I love to travel. I think after photography, travel is the thing that I really enjoy. And I don't want to stay in a place. I just want to travel the world. There is no specific place, but yeah, I saw many pictures from Antarctica, and it's really a dream kind of place. So yeah, I would love to travel anywhere in the world.
So you want to do more travel and get around to some of the other parts of the world that you haven't been to
Yeah.
also. So how many countries have you actually traveled to so far? Like I said, definitely you've been in your own country of India. I imagine you've been to some of the other places also. But what are some of the, how many countries have you been to? And are there any dream countries of yours that you haven't been to?
I would love to actually visit the Europe because I never been to Europe, and I think Europe is a really great place for learning art. Or so yeah, I would love to visit Europe someday.
Yep, and hopefully folks are listening and can help you get to Europe and things of that nature. Well, as we're winding down and everything, because we've definitely had a nice conversation, and I greatly appreciate you listening. I mean, being here and having this conversation with you. We'll definitely be keeping in touch through Stefan and through Shri and some of the other folks that we know in common. I did have a friend of mine, Sherry Berry, that was looking at your photographs as we were talking because it's also being aired on Facebook Live, and she just wanted to let you know that your photos are really beautiful and that she was really admiring those photographs. So did have that comment, and also Tim Sohn wanted to say hello as well because he was watching from Pennsylvania. So you definitely have some folks that have been looking at your pictures and really admiring them. So hopefully more people, even when we do the audio version of this, and that'll air sometime later this week. They will also admire your work and see what you're doing and see some of this just amazing photography that you've done. So I'm actually going to bring some of the pictures that you did from the Pride Walk as well. Is there an active LGBT community in India? Because like I said, when I saw that picture
Yeah.
going, that actually surprised me because I didn't know that there was a active LGBT community in India, or is they kind of like under the radar and not seen as much? Because I do know that it's a very strict culture and a very conservative culture in a lot of ways. But I do see that you've got some folks here that have done some things with the Pride festival there in India as well. So tell us a little bit about that and also just about that culture there in India.
In India, it's normally it's not really accepted after the before I mean after the act passed, but normal people, they don't understand the culture. But um, I really love them and their culture because they are really free and they can express themselves. They are really true to their life. They are not being another person. They are really leading their life, and they are open to new things. And many of them, they are my friends. We became friends while I started shooting these images. um, and it's a really big you know they have a big community here in India. And I mean, they are just normal people. I can't I can't differentiate from others.
Understood, definitely. And just really quickly, we talked on a real earlier, but I just want to show some of these one more time. Tell us a lot about how important your grandma is to you and just to your life, because those were the other pictures that really caught my attention as well as the attention of others, with just how great of a relationship you have with your grandma. So I'm showing some of those as well. But if you would just share a little bit about what your grandma means to you.
Oh, I call my grandma Chodima, and she's my best friend. I can share everything, anything with my grandma. She is such a cool lady, and um, she is not a typical Indian grandma who can tell you don't do this, or she is